Hello, so in this video we shall cover part 3 of 5th module, okay, of our last module, the third part that we had left out, so we shall cover that, okay, so that is called business planning process, okay. Let's see what are the contents that are present in this part in the next slide. So these are the contents, okay. One is business planning process. That is in case if you are going to plan a business, okay. What all things are you going to keep in your mind? What is its process basically? That's about that you'll study about business plan and what are its processes. Next is marketing plan. Okay, that is while you're doing the marketing and production, what all things are you going to consider about that? Next is financial plan. Okay. Next we'll study about project report and feasibility study. Okay. Project report is any project you have to maintain a report. So that report, what all things should that report carry? About that we'll study. Okay. And feasibility study. So like I told you all, entrepreneur are the ones who start up their own firm or a own business. So this feasibility study, it helps one know the detail, like whether he can move further. Like it shows you the availability of materials, your budget and everything. It helps you move with your work. Okay, so about that you will study. Next you will study about guidelines for preparation of a report, okay, project report before starting a new venture. Then let us study about introduction to international entrepreneurship opportunities. So see, when it is international business, okay, when you transport, when you export and import your products or yeah, your things. So what happens is you have to consider like all the things under international transportation and how it is dealt with. So about that you will study. Next you will study about entry into international business, exporting, direct foreign investment and venture capital. Okay, so let us see one by one what are these contents, okay, in details. So business plan, let us see what does this term indicate. So business plan, it is a written document prepared by entrepreneur. Okay, it is a written document. Okay, it describes all the relevant external and internal elements involved in starting a new venture. So when you start a new venture or you start a new business, new work, what all things like internally and externally, what all elements are you going to like which is involved in your work, about that you will have a written document that is called as business plan. It is an integration of functional plans such as marketing, finance, manufacturing and human resources plan, right? So these are the four important terms which you need to have when you start up your business. You need to know about it. Okay, what all? That is marketing, finance, okay, related to money, manufacturing and human resource plan, okay. Next point is a business plan is a blueprint of step-by-step process that would be followed to convert business idea into successful business venture, okay. So this business plan, it is a blueprint of your work, okay, from your business idea to make it a successful venture, what all process is there. So that process it shows, okay. So I hope you have got it, what business plan is all about, okay. It is a document, okay, detailed document of your work. See, here are few objective or importance of this plan, okay, business plan. Let's go through it one by one. See, first is to give direction to the vision formulated by the entrepreneur, right? It helps you, it gives the direction to your goal, okay. Second point is to objectively evaluate the prospects of business, okay. Next is to monitor the progress after implementing the business plan, okay. So after you implement the plan, then you are going to monitor it. Next is to persuade others to join business, right? When you are in a when you are running a business, you can't run alone. So what it helps you, persuade other people to help in your business, okay. Next is to seek loans from financial institutions, okay. So you'll require a loan, right, to work on your project or work on your business. So about that. Next is to visualize concept in terms of market availability, organizational, operational and financial feasibility, okay. So all these terms, that is market availability, organizational, operational and finance, about all these branches it helps you to visualize it. Next is to guide the entrepreneur in actual implementation of plan, okay. It helps the entrepreneur to implement the plan, okay, work on the plan. Next is to identify actual strength and weakness of plan, okay. It helps you know both of it, strength and weakness. These are the objectives of a business plan or importance of it, okay. Please go through it. So business planning process, okay, this is important. For exams they might ask, define, like explain business plan and give a brief explanation about its process, planning process, okay, business planning process. So this has basically 5 points, okay. So first is idea generation, okay. So idea generation, what is this? So this is the first step in the business planning process, okay. This step differentiates entrepreneur from usual business, okay, from the usual work, from the usual business. It helps, it differentiates the entrepreneur, okay, how his work is going to like going to be, how his work is going to be apart from the normal work. So then an entrepreneur may come with the new business idea or may bring value addition to existing product in the market. So these are few sources of new ideas for entrepreneurs, okay. Consumers and customers, okay. Making sure that you are going to work according to their expectation. Next is existing companies, okay. Research and development, R&D, okay. We're going to you can research about whatever work are you going to start with, about that research and collect some information as to how you can work with it. Employees, okay, you need employees. Next is dealers and retailers, okay, those who after production who is going to um, deal with it, purchase it, okay, from you, from the source. So about all that, so all that things are the sources, okay, for this idea generation for entrepreneurs. So next point is, let's move to the next slide. So second process is environmental scanning, okay. So once the entrepreneur is to the idea generation stage, next entrepreneur is required to conduct environmental scanning, okay. This includes two concepts, okay. One is external environment and internal environment. So based on two analysis, Okay, let's go through it. Under external environment, it compromises of socio-cultural appraisal, okay, technological appraisal, economic appraisal, and demographic appraisal. So under socio-cultural appraisal, it gives the brief overview about the cultural and traditional existing of the society. Okay, so under technological appraisal, it assesses various technological options. Okay, based on the technological idea to convert how we are going to convert an idea into a product based on that. So economical appraisal, it is based on the economic development and per capita income, national income, okay, economically, like based on that. Next is demographic appraisal. Okay, so this is based on the geographic area, okay, which includes age profile, distribution, sex, etc. So based on that, so there are four things: socio-cultural, okay, related to cultural and traditional; technological appraisal based on the technological background; economical appraisal based on the economic development and income; demographic, okay, based on the geographic area. So these are the external things you are going to consider. So next, let's move on to the internal environmental scanning. See, the internal environment, it compromises of the raw materials, okay, production and operation, finance, okay, market and human resources. So under raw materials, it refers to the terms of availability of raw material, okay, which is required for your work. If the material availability is at a distant place and it is very expensive, then entrepreneur should give a second thought. Okay, it should be moderate for his work. It shouldn't be very expensive and very far away, which will put him in trouble later. He should give it a thought. Next is production and operation. So this is related to your machineries, okay, availability of your machinery, your equipment, tools, techniques, okay, related for the work. Next is about finance. So this study is about your expenses, right? Depends upon the expenses for, like, the total requirement of money, finance, which is required. Next is about market. So this refers to the potential consumer and target of the target consumers in the market. Okay, human resources, it refers to demand and supply of the human resources. So these are the two things you need to consider: external and internal environmental scanning. So environmental scanning, that is the second process. So third process, let's move. So third process is feasibility analysis. Okay, so this refers to the to conducting detailed analysis in relation to every aspect relevant to business and determining credibility of business. So everything, this contains almost all the process, like, which is connected to it. See, market analysis. So under that, market analysis, so see all this: market analysis, technical and operational analysis, marketing plan, production plan, organizational plan, and financial plan. So let's see. Under marketing plan, it is conducted to estimate and demand the market share, okay, market share for the proposed products and services in the future. So it is based on factors like consumption pattern, availability of substitute goods and services, okay, related to that. So under technical and operational analysis, parameters are like material availability, material requirement planning, okay, your plant location, your plant capacity, about all that. So under marketing plan, strategies, strategies of the marketing, it leads to certain success of the plan. So they include product, price, place and promotion, okay, and the marketing plan. And in production and operational plan, so it is strategies are on the parameters based on the location, layout, cost, your availability of your human resources, materials, etc. Organizational plan, okay, it is based on your pattern type of defines the type of ownership pattern in your company, what kind of pattern it is, and sole trading concern, whether it's a family business and private or a public limited company, detailing of the company, okay. Next is financial. This should include your cash flow statement, fund flow, then your break even point, and your balance sheet, okay. So all this detailing it should cover under feasibility analysis. So next is how you unfold. So fourth process is project report preparation. Okay, here you are going to create a report. Okay, project report. It is a written document. It describes a step-by-step strategies from start to ending of a business. So next process is to make a project report. After that, fifth process is evaluation, control and review. So company operates in dynamic environment company. It has to monitor, okay, all your work. So that is the last process. So these are the 5 processes of business planning. Business plan. Go through it. It's very important. They have been asked like define definition of it and this process. Please go through it. So next concept is about market plan. Okay, this is similar, but it is going to describe your market condition and strategy. Okay, about how your product and your services are done, like it is distributed, how it is priced, and how it is promoted in market related to that. So market plan refers to plan that describes market condition and strategy related to how products and services will be distributed, priced and promoted in market. Okay, so this is what market plan refers to. So these are the steps in preparing marketing plan. Okay, first you are going to defining the business situation. Next is defining the target plan. Okay, next is considering your strengths and weaknesses. Fourth point is to establish your goals and objectives. Okay, then you are going to define market strategy and your plan of action. Okay, your action program. Next is marketing strategy. Okay, seventh is budgeting marketing strategy. Okay, related to your budget. Next is implementation of market plan. Last step is marketing progress of marketing actions. Okay, these are few steps in preparing the market plan. Next is financial plan. Okay, so under this financial plan we will study about the requirement, the total requirement of finance. Okay, it can be in terms of startup expenses, your fixed expenses, running expenses. Okay, financial plan indicates the requirement of proposed business enterprises, which includes your cash flow statement, fund flow, break even point, the balance sheet. So everything related to your, the plan related to your finance, whatever comes under that, it will be comprised of that. So these are the components of financial plan. Okay, one is operating and capital budget. Okay, your budgets. Next is pro forma of income statement. Okay, pro forma is a form, okay, of your income statement, also of your cash flow, your balance sheet, Okay, a break-even analysis, and also pro forma for sources and application of funds. Okay, so these are the components of financial plan. Go through it. So these are the three different plans: business plan, financial plan, and market plan. Go through it. Now let us see what is contents of project report. Okay, what all things should it contain? Okay, this contents of project report is nothing but in your project report what all things you should be having. Okay, generally when even when you start up your small project or you work on your mini project or your college project work, so what all things you'll cover certain things, right? It is very similar to that. So let us see. First, it should have cover page. Okay, so cover page is what? It should contain your title of the project, your name of the project, address of the project. Okay, so that readers of the report can easily contact the entrepreneur relating to the any queries of the report. Okay, they can contact and ask any sort of doubts, anything they want to ask, they can ask. So first they should first it contains cover page. Okay, then it contains table of contents. Okay, so in this table of contents, what happens? Your detail of the project, page numbers, and what are the topics that is covered in your project. All the such things will be there in table of contents. Okay. Next is the executive summary. So this should be done. This should be written after your completion of the project. Okay. So I'll read this out. Executive summary should be written after the completion of project report, as it gives the brief gist of the project. Okay, so it gives a brief detail of your project. Length of the executive summary should not exceed more than 2 pages. Okay, so it should have like 2 pages of your summary in in short. Next, it should have company information and industry. See, here they should explain the ownership form of the company, okay, which should contain the reason for venturing into the proposed business plan. How do you plan to satisfy the needs and expectation of the potential customers and existing competitors in the industry? So what all they should have? They should have the ownership form of the company. That form should contain why you are going to venture. Okay, reason for this venture. How are you going to propose your business plan? Okay, how are you going to satisfy the needs and expectation? Okay, according to your customers. All such details should be included in this company information and industry part. Next is technical plan. This is all the technical feasibility of the report, everything related to the technical aspect of the project. Okay, that it should contain. Then it should have financial plan. Okay, related to the your finance, whatever detail is there. Next, it should have a conclusion. See, this summarizes the key aspect of the report in concise manner. It should end the report on a positive note. Okay, anything that is completed in a positive note, that should be concluded in a proper way, so that the readers can get a positive image of the report. Okay, next is appendices. It contains conclusion part of the report. Okay, last, how are you going to conclude your report? That it contains. And supplement data, which is important part for the report, but cannot be included in the initial topics of the report. Few other details are there related to this content. Please go through your many other things are there. Go through your notes which I have given you. Many others are there. You will get an idea about that. So your project report should contain all these things. Okay. So this is the contents of project report. Next, we'll go through this term called feasibility study. Okay, this is nothing but a study which is made to find out the possibility of the entrepreneurship. Okay, to start a project. So everything that is related to his project, whether it is sufficient enough for him to start the project. Okay, if it's sufficient enough, he can proceed with his work. So that study is called as feasibility study. Okay, I'll read this out. Feasibility study is a systematic method to find out the possibility and practicability of starting a project or a business. Okay, it's a method to find out the possibility and practicability of starting the project. Second point is an entrepreneur with limited financial resources before venturing into a business has to study whether it is feasible or not. Okay, first he has to study whether it is feasible or not. Okay, limited sorry feasibility study analysis availability of materials, skills and expertise, and capital market, etc. So, what the study analyzes whether your materials are there, okay, availability of materials, okay, skills and expertise, okay, the one who is under that working. So, whether they are skilled, unskilled, and whether they are expertise about that, and capital market, okay, budget. Next point, feasibility study contains fairly specific estimates of project cost. Okay, it also contains your estimation of your cost, means of financing, sales revenue, production cost, financial and social profitability. So everything related to budget, even that it contains. Okay, and analyzing everything, the study helps you know whether you can move further with your work. Okay, so feasibility study. Next important term we will go through is international entrepreneurship. Okay, so the name suggests international entrepreneurship. That is, you're working with the international boundaries. Okay, by exporting and importing. How are you going to work with it? So about that we will study. So I'll read this out. International entrepreneurship is the process of an entrepreneur conducting business activity across the national boundaries. So what do they tell? That you're conducting your business activity across the national boundaries. Okay. So it may consist of exporting, okay, licensing, opening sales offices in other countries. Okay, it may consist of all such things. Second point is international entrepreneurship is defined as development of international new ventures or startups that form their inception stage in international business. Okay, thus viewing their operation domain as international from the initial stage to initial stages of the of international operations. So what do they tell? Development of international new work, new ventures or startup. Okay, in outside countries. So it is nothing but starting up your business in other boundaries. Okay, national across the boundaries. So that is about international entrepreneurship. Let's move further. So under this we have entrepreneurial entry into new business. Okay, this is very important. They can ask explain international entrepreneurship or what are the entrepreneurial entry into new business. What all terms do you need to know under this? Let's go through it. So first is exporting. Okay, exporting means selling goods made in one country to another. Okay, selling in case if you are selling goods from India to other country, so from our country they are selling to other country. Exporting normally involves the sale the sale end of products manufactured in one country to the customer located in another country. That is shipping. Okay, so that is exporting. It's pretty general term we know about it. So under that we have direct exporting and indirect exporting. So direct exporting implies it where company takes full responsibility for making its goods available in the target market by selling directly to the end users, normally through their agents, okay, own agents. So they take the full take, okay, they take full responsibility of all the process. Whereas in indirect exporting, company they do not possess the necessary infrastructure to involve itself in direct exporting. Okay, indirect exporting takes place. They do what they tell is they do not support like it is the opposite of direct exporting. Okay, they do not give full attention, full responsibility about that. So it takes place when the export company sells. To intermediaries who in turn sell the same products to the end users in foreign market. So these are two terms. Okay, I mean under exporting, direct exporting and indirect exporting. Next we need to let's see about the term called licensing. The licensing is it involves an entrepreneur who a manufacturer is giving a foreign manufacturer the right to use the patent or your trademark, your technology and your process, production process and product in return. Okay, so the entrepreneur is giving license, okay, to the other manufacturer to use all his detailing. Okay, so that is called as licensing. They will have all the trademark and the process of your product and all the methods and methodology. All these ideas from A to Z, he is going to allow the other manufacturer to, like, he gives license for him so that he can proceed with the work. Okay, so licensing. So next we have the term foreign direct investment. Okay, that is FDI. So it is a direct investment into one country. Okay, by a company in production located in another country, either by buying a company in the country or by expanding operations of an existing business in the country. Okay, so it is an investment made to expand your work, expand your operations. Okay, you can start up the venture in different other places. Okay, so that is FDI. Next is minor interest and major interest. So minor interest, a company having interest or ownership of less than 50% of in another company is known as minor interest. Okay, where the interest or the ownership is less than 50%, whereas in major interest it is greater than 50%. Okay, so these are the two terms, minor interest and major interest. Joint venture. Joint venture is what? When two parties come together and they start up the project. So in this project, the investment and the time invested, money and effort, everything is in joint. Okay, both parties they work together and start up a work. Okay, that is called as joint venture. So here are a few barriers to international trade. Okay, some problems when you do international work. Few problems can arise. See, first is attitude of the and entrepreneur. So this can be like when the entrepreneur has a negative mindset that a foreign market is unknown to him. So he might find it difficult. Okay, to set up his business in a new country. Okay, so that is one point. Okay, attitude of the entrepreneur. Second point is lack of network influences. So as we know that as an entrepreneur is very new to this international market, he is unaware of the market conditions, okay, and other taste and preferences of the customers. So you don't have a proper information. Okay, so you lag information problem. So next is financing problems. So under financing problems, uh, it can have huge risk in financial institutions, okay, in terms of money. So that can be a problem. Then is a lack of network influences. See, this is when you start up a business. If you don't have contact in the foreign country, like when you move with your process, if you don't have contacts, how to manage with the things and get the detailed data of everything, so then it can be a problem again. Okay, that is one problem. Next, we have technical barriers. So, technical barriers, this refers to before a country's good enters into the foreign market, so it has to go to different authentication. Okay, so that can be again a problem. Different processes will be there, which can be crucial. Then we have political barriers. So under political barriers, we have this problem of kidnapping, bombing, and violent against the business and few employees. So all that can be a problem. Okay, if you are a big business employee and if you are working it really well, even that can be a problem. Human resources, even that can be a problem, and cultural barriers. Okay, so these are few of the problems that can happen. Okay, barriers to international trade. Please go through it. This has been asked. So next we have this term called venture capital. So venture capital is nothing but a source. Okay, you get funded. Okay, those who provide source of finance. Okay, for the ones who wants to start up their work. Okay, so it contains a lot of risk and adventure. Okay, so it is basically a fund. It is made available for financing the new businesses. Okay, new people who want to start up the business. I'll read this out. Venture capital is the source of finance committed to an enterprise that has high risk and adventure. So it's a fund made available for the financing of new businesses or new ventures. So venture capital is arranged to the entrepreneurs through the private equity market for supporting profitability but risky ventures. Okay, second point is venture capital is the money obtained through private investments or public investment funds directed to high risk and high potential entrepreneurs. Okay, basically, this venture capital is financing. Okay, it's financing. It helps to finance the venture capital is financing. Okay, towards the helping the people to start up their own companies or small businesses that are believed to have the long-term growth potential basically. So this venture capital generally it comes from the well-off investors and investment banks and other financial institutions. Okay, they provide a huge amount of money for anyone who can start up the business. Okay, so the term is called as venture capital. Let's go through it. So in this video, third part also is done. So we have completed all the three parts of module 5. So we'll wind this video.